food is art, and I always strive for something that is very unique. And when I change the menu, I try to, choose the best ingredient without looking at the food cost. And then it shows the next 2 months, which I don't look at. For me, I don't look at numbers. It's my husband. And then he came to me the next 2 months that we're fucked up. We always say we're not ready, but no one is ready until times come.
So first of all, I would like to thank you for your time and your dedication being here, interviewing with Gastrofilm today. Such an honor. It's great to see you every time, seeing a capable woman shining through basically the food and beverage industry of Thailand. So for those who may not know, today we're here with Chef Pham Pitchaya of Potong, which is the latest Thai female chef in 8 years that has won the Asia's Best Female Chef Award 2024. A renowned female chef in the food industry that is successful immediately in the first year of her restaurant launching in Thailand, which has both received 1 Michelin star along with another special award of Opening of the Year presented by UOB, which is the first ever that has given from Michelin Guide Thailand 2023. And also the restaurant has ranked 17th in the recent 2024 of the Asia 50 Best Restaurant. And most of you may have seen her from the famous show Top Chef. She's one of the judges that has shed a light into the dishes that the participants have made. And she's here with us today, thankfully.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the fabulous introduction and happy to be here today.
Thank you. And she'll be here sharing a success lesson and dreams that people can listen through with us and hopefully gain some knowledge and insight into the behind the scene life of basically one of the pioneers and the front line of chefs in Thailand, the hottest one.
Thank you.
So first of all, starting with ice-breaking, like cliche question, could you please walk us through how you end up being in this line of work?
Yeah, so basically I graduated high school, university, nothing to do with cooking. I studied communication arts at Chulalongkorn University. But then on the 3rd year, I didn't really enjoy what I was studying. And I asked my parents whether I can, go into cooking because I've been cooking with my mom since I remember because she's a housewife and she's always go to the market, buy things, and then cook in the kitchen for her friends and family. And dinner and food is a big thing in my family also. So I grew up, very familiar with knives and ingredients and being in the kitchen, prepping. So I asked my parents whether I can try going to cooking school to see whether I really like it. Because sometimes cooking at home is one thing, but going to school, really studying about it, maybe another thing. So my parents were like really supportive and they were like, okay, let's do it. So went to Cordon Bleu, studied actually pastry first. Really enjoyed it. It confirms me a lot that cooking and being in the kitchen in general gives me confidence and it's like my comfort zone. So that's where it all started. And it just, one step at a time. I went to cooking competition and then after that go to study in the US, be able to work in a 3-star Michelin restaurant. So everything, comes after that.
I feel like the thought of changing path at that time might be new, but for like nowadays, I feel like many people of the new generation do have dreams to change path or tend to follow their dreams more. I was wondering at that time what made you decided to, what was the final straw that pushes you and then also keep you to pursue?
I think the final decision that I've made to switch career or switch path, right? I'm still fairly young at that time and there's nothing to lose. And cooking, my mom's always say if you study cooking and eventually you're not pursue the career, you can always cook at home. And if there are hard times economically that you have to come out and do something, you can just sell like noodles along the street. So it's a career that can feed you at home and can also earn money if you have to, if you don't want to pursue as a chef. But at the end, I really like it. It's one of the most important decision in my life that I've made, because otherwise I won't come to this point, and I don't know what I'm doing if I'm not a chef.
Now that chefs are more accepted in the industry, could you please give us some advice for the new generation who is looking forward to shifting into the industry?
In the chef industry, right? I mean, I think at that time when I was younger, when I wanted to do, cooking, being a chef or working in the kitchen is not something that is ideal for career, especially for women. But now with a lot of TV shows, with a lot of success stories, a lot of Michelin restaurants in Thailand and in Asia, being a chef is more wanted job and see as a reputable career, right? If you are deciding whether you should go in this industry or not, I think you cannot look at only success stories of chefs and entrepreneurs in this industry, because it's a very tough industry. Because a lot of restaurants open, it's like a baby, it doesn't grow. You just have to give time all the time. Even a 10-year-old restaurant, you just have to go back, and it's an ongoing process. It's not like other business where you set a system and it can run by itself. Restaurants, you have to be there and give passion and have presence there all the time, because it affects the experience of the customers and the food. You can see it. So just, be sure that you really have the passion of doing this, and not just the first year, but for the rest of your life. And, it's a very tough industry because of the working hours. But if you have the passion and the will, I think anyone can do it also.
Nice. Now that you mentioned about apart from reading about success stories, I believe that you're implying that we should look into why restaurants fail as well.
Yes.
In order to develop and basically close that hole into making the restaurant more successful, which I think is a very interesting point.
Yeah. Because in all success, I think there are failure stories. I don't believe in people doing anything at all, not just cooking, they become success right away. I think failure is part of the learning curve to become successful.
Well said.
Yes.
And you also mentioned about having the passion, because you need to be stuck with it for life.
Yes.
It might be cliche, but what keeps you going with basically your restaurant Potong?
I think there are many things that keeps me going. First of all is the goal that I set. I think to keep going in doing anything, you have to have short-term goal and long-term goal. Otherwise, you don't know what you're working for. And then the team has to believe in you, and I have to believe in the team to keep everything going. And for me, to keep my passion going also is sometimes to step back and look at the big picture, take a rest sometimes. If you always, stuck in this
Mundane loop.
Mundane daily life and all that, you lose the passion. So sometimes I step back a little bit and do what I enjoy also. Don't forget to enjoy life when because a lot of career women and men, they sometimes it's very burnt out. So before you burn out, I don't want anyone to burn out first, right? So because when I was pregnant, I used to have this emotional attack that I lost my interest and lost my passion. but it's just the hormone. But then after opening Potong, I deliver my daughter, everything come back to normal. I realized that I have to balance between work life and being a mother and being a chef. Yeah.
I see ไม่รู้จะไปต่อยังไงเลยค่ะแต่ว่า but you've been through that so I have so much respect for you.
Thank
for
you.
that. I was wondering that being like a very good set of answer, PR-ish, but I believe that is all true. I was wondering, are there any like, so sorry for the word, like basically times that you fucked up and then you learn from it? What would you say would be your biggest lesson in creating the baby, the Potong baby up and being successful?
The times that I fucked up, right? So many times can be small. Like for example, I imagine of creating a dish that I thought in my head that's gonna work, and then I test it out, taste it. It doesn't work at all. That's a really, big fail for me because I was expecting to create something that very, something that's in my head, and it doesn't meet my expectation. So that's one failure that I learned. So you just have to keep doing it until it becomes what you imagine. The bigger mistakes and fucked up may be about Potong, right? I think Potong is a restaurant that me and my husband do after we have fucked up have made many mistakes on other projects already. So at Potong we are quite mature, and before we make any big decisions, we always think that it can go wrong. So we don't really make big mistakes, but there are some for sure. But we learn along the way. But they're not like a really big mistake that customer can feel. I don't think so, right? Oh, we did. Oh, maybe not like a big mistake in terms of for the customers, but sometimes I'm a chef, and I'm into my ingredients and cooking, and when I change the menu, I try to choose the best ingredient without looking at the food cost, and then it shows the next 2 months, which I don't look at. For me, I don't look at numbers. It's my husband, and then he came to me the next 2 months that we're fucked up. So maybe that's a fucked up
I see.
moment. Yeah, but that's the business side. Yeah.
So in order
not next 2 months.
Next month.
Too
Yeah.
long.
Too long. Sorry.
So in order to basically achieve a successful running business, you will have to be considerate for both the kitchen side and also the administration and the business side as well.
Yes.
Which some of the chefs may overlook
Yeah.
that.
Because I think restaurants, all the chefs are artists. They want to create something. They want to use the best ingredients, and which is true, which is the right thing to do. But at the end of the day, the restaurant also have to survive in order for us to do that. So numbers also have to make sense.
Make money.
Make money also. So you have to balance between the two. And I'm very lucky that I have my partner looking after that for me. And if sometimes, for example, I change the ingredient without telling him, he knows right away. So it's very easy to bounce back. And I think it's very important to balance the two. And nowadays, all the food cost is really high, all the ingredients and everything. So we have to really consider the numbers and what we're using at the restaurant.
That's a power couple for you.
Thank you.
Yep, and also you touch a little on previous project. Apart from the table, what would you say would be the biggest learning project in before coming into having Potong?
After the table, I opened Smoked, which is a restaurant that's very casual, and we do like smoked barbecue, beef ribs, beef brisket. And it came about just because I miss eating from the US, smoked beef. And then I tested at home. I really love it. And then me and my husband decided to do a business out of it. But in the beginning, when we opened, it was very successful only because we have a lot of friends and they just come and visit and support. But the true deal is after I think 3 months, we can see that the business is going down really, really fast. Because that time we opened in Salaya, which is quite a bit, out of Bangkok. And it's not what the market is looking for at that time. And it taught me that it's not always the best to do what you think it's good, but you also have to follow your guests, the market around there. So we immediately adapted not the recipes, but the menu style to suit the market more. And it gradually, coming back up. We almost have to close smoke at the beginning because it's not, I don't think it's the food, but it's just the menu that doesn't fit what people are wanting to eat. So sometimes we have to adjust. Sometimes we have to put our ego down in order to survive. And then after you survive, and then people come and open their heart more to try your food, and then you can be your own. You can show your own character of cooking more. So.
That does confirm the fact that you are the pioneer of bringing new foods and new cuisine into the country. Linking that back, being mindful of the market trends and the consumer needs and wants. How would you relate that adaptability and the learning lesson with Potong that you have right now?
At Potong, it's a bit different because I think people know me more now. So doing business is not easier, but to gain people's trust is easier, and people are more open and they're willing to try. So at Potong, it's just an innovative house that I really want to put everything of my own cooking style, of the experience that we want to offer. So we didn't change of what we want to do that much because I think we're more mature now and we know our target customers, and so we're able to be ourselves and to offer the guests of our own true identity, and we're lucky that the guests love it. So but we changed a couple of this and that to if we have like repetitive comments about things, we would consider and change, but not change in the way that is not our DNA. I also always believe that you have to stick on what you trying to do, at least your DNA, but you can change a bit of this and that in terms of like small couple of things, but at the end of the day, you have to have your character in the restaurant still.
I love it. So it's your brand identity and also attention to detail in basically crafting your masterpiece.
Yes.
Well said. I was wondering, apart from your mother, who is basically your mentor, your role model, and your guidance, do you have any other renowned idol you have that you take inspiration in when you're pursuing the career?
I met Marco Pierre White a year ago, and I've known him for a long time because he's like the god of of our industry, and I love to listen to his interviews and his life stories. I read books that he wrote about his life starting cooking, and I really looked up to him because first of all he's a great chef. He's a real chef. He struggles at the beginning and then he doesn't give up. He has a very strong mind that I look up to him. And when he visited Potong, I was very intimidated. But then every word that comes out from his mouth is very wise, I would say. So I really looked up to him, and when he said things about my food, it really goes to my heart. And even his presence is a big thing for it's you can feel the energy. And he says that when he tried my food, he says that Pam. He paused a little bit. Pam.
Look into the camera.
Pam. He said kind of like, you gotta believe in your food, the less the more. And at that time, I didn't understand what he was. I didn't 100% understand what he was saying or the message, but then once I think back about what he said, it's really true. The more confident you are as a chef, the more experienced you are, the less you put on the plate, the less components you put on the plate. Because as a young chef, in a plate you want to show many things, because you very you're out of school, you train under this chef and that, so you want to show all the techniques that you have with many ingredients and many components. But as you grow up, you feel that you know what you're good at, and you know the precise way of doing things. And you're more confident. For example, a simple duck on a plate and a very good sauce, that's it. Two components is already enough to show what you're capable of. So he really gave me a good advice, and from that day, I learned a lot from that quote. The way I create food now, I'm more confident, and I try to go simpler, but not in a way that simpler taste. It's complex in its own component, in that sense. Yeah.
I see. So it was the less the more.
Yes.
The less the more.
Yes.
And so you took that to basically adapt into your own style. I was wondering, what would you say is the differences between each cuisine?
I think food is different cuisine. Food has different flavor profile and all that. But at the end of the day, food has the same language. It has to be about taste. It's not always about presentation. It's about the taste. So I just focus on the taste, and then if the presentation and everything else is as good as the taste, perfect. Why not, right? So I believe in flavor in the food, flavor, temperature, and the rest will follow.
Nice. Passing down basically the wise word from the previous generation. Now that inside the Potong kitchen you have the gathering of the new generation, how did you approach leadership and also cultivating the mindset into your staffs?
I think approaching the younger chefs now is different from how I was approached before as I was a younger cook. Nowadays, I think younger generation, they can learn things really fast through internet. For example, when I was younger, I want to learn. I want to go to a Michelin star. I can also work for free for a couple of months or even a year, just because I want to learn. And learning you cannot find on internet back then as much as today. So I think the newer generation, they are very capable of learning through internet, test and error at home or whatever. So how I approach them is that I want to grow them. How would I say? I want to teach them by believing in them, giving them a space to grow rather than not trusting them. So I think trusting your team is a big thing. For example, you have to let him or her try once or twice or 3 times, because you have to give people chances to try bigger task. I think people like challenges. I believe that in order to grow, you need to act the position first, to be given the position. So at Potong, we are very, passionate young team, but I think we have the capability, and I think all they need is a chance for them to try, and that's what we're doing right now.
That's great. Giving hand and opportunity, I believe, is the most important thing a person can receive, and also if they're the right person, I believe that's the best kickstart for their whole life.
Yes.
So I believe that giving an opportunity is basically the best jumping board for a person to receive in order to pursue their dreams. And I believe that you also have an upcoming project. I mean, an existing project. Could you please tell us more about that?
So I have an internship and scholarship program. Been thinking for many years, but we were talking with. So it's called WFW, Women for Women, and we work with AWC, which is Americans Women's Club, a non-organizational, non-government organization that support young female from suburban area that doesn't have the money to even go to school. So what I do is I work with AWC, and we come up with a program that selects one female that have passion in cooking and want to pursue in this career, but doesn't even have enough money to even live in Bangkok. I want to give that opportunity to those women, because I think opportunity is a very important thing in any career. And so we select one woman, come work with us, paid internship, and we support all the housing, traveling, meals, to be able to come and work in Bangkok. And we will have her for a year, because I believe that less than a year she won't learn as much. I think many people who first time enter the food industry and work in the real kitchen will drop out in a month. But if even he or she carry on for over 3 months and a year, they will overcome something, and they will realize that they will get used to it, the energy in the kitchen and everything. And I think it's important to give it a time to adjust in the kitchen if you're first timer. We have a Women for Women program, because I want more women to be in the industry, and I believe that we have the same capability as men, and we just need a chance. So I want to start something that's really small, but hopefully I can grow someone, and in the future she's become someone to do the same as I did to her younger generation.
Nice. So time is of the essential, and opportunity given will not be wasted.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you. And just talking about the evolving of the industry, what would you say is the emerging trend right now?
I think emerging trend, especially in Bangkok right now, is micro local cuisine. For example, if you imagine 10 years back, fine dining, especially in fine dining, you would consider going to like a French restaurant in a hotel, or Italian, Japanese. But nowadays, there are a lot. People are willing to pay to go to Thai cuisine, and it's not just Thai. It's Thai Chinese, Southern Thai, Northern Thai, and the cuisine is very more scoped down. And I think it's a very good thing, because Thailand has not just the central cuisine. It has so many types of food that belong to Thailand. The northern, southern style, which is all different. Flavor profile is different. Ingredients, and I think that's the trend, which is very good for our country also.
Now that the world has evolved into a more AI era, would you think that would affect the restaurateurs and the industry?
I think if we know how to use it, it's better. Things can be done faster. Everything is faster with AI if you know how to use it. So I think it can write for you also. So everything will be faster and more efficient. You just need to know how to code it. So yeah, I think it's good.
Do you think it would be potentially replacing cooking overall? Everything?
I don't think so. So I'm very lucky that hopefully not, but I'm lucky that I don't think AI will potentially replace cooking in the kitchen. I mean, it can for certain sector in food industry, but for fine dining, I don't think so. I hope not so. But anything can happen, right? Because 100 years back, they never thought of AI. So now I never thought of someone replacing AI will replace the chef. But in 100 years, I don't know. Are we gone already? But I hope not, because I think food is like an art. But painting is an art too. AI also replaced painting, but I don't think it doesn't replace a great painting, I think.
But we will have to say, telling the next generation that we existed before AI.
Yes.
That was like a concept that is out of my mind.
Crazy.
Anyways, yeah, and coming back to your kitchen with your leading the kitchen, I was wondering, are there any superstitious belief that you have?
I have to say, I don't have a religion, but I don't disagree with any. I'm not a strong believer in any of them also. But since I'm doing business and I've been to, temples, pray, you pray and you wish for something and you would return in doing good deeds. For me, doing business, I feel like, why not? So I believe in, sometimes I pray, but I believe in hard work. I don't think things will come automatically just for you by praying it or wishing for it. So I think, with luck and hard work, you can succeed. It has to be both ways. Yeah.
Can you maybe name drop a little on maybe you don't have to say what you pray for, but maybe the location?
Location. Should I say it?
After this video come out.
I actually went to หลวงพ่อโสธร for 3 consecutive years already. And going back to return good deeds means that it works.
Ooh.
So yeah, หลวงพ่อโสธร.
Would you say it's like a big pray?
Yes.
Ooh.
I think so. It's not about money. It's just about things that I have in terms of goal and all that, and it has been consistently met, but not like maybe I wish for like 5 things, 2 things are met, but yeah, I go there every year to return good deeds and to pray a little bit more. So yeah.
I see. So for the listener, you have to do hard work as well, not just pray.
Yeah.
But she said it works. Yeah, and are there any incidents that you could tell us?
About?
Just any supernatural that happened? Maybe it doesn't have to do with praying.
No, I don't have a supernatural experience. Like ghosts also, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Ghosts?
You're at the restaurant working hours alone trying to develop new menus.
I don't believe, but I never experienced myself.
I see.
Yeah.
And maybe in the cases where you're out to find ingredients outside Bangkok, maybe other provinces, have you met any?
No.
Oh. Oh, okay.
But I'm scared of ghosts though. I cannot sleep alone in a room somewhere else apart from my home.
I do heard of that in previous interview. I'm not sure if you...
I've said it before. I'm very scared of ghosts, but I don't really believe in it. But I'm just scared. It's just, yeah.
So we do have one question that is an ongoing one with that basically we ask different chefs. So if you're not a chef, what would you do?
I wanted to become a painter, like a fine arts. In high school, I did my major in fine arts, so I paint.
Oh, wow.
I just like painting, drawing, all that. I think I enjoy using my hands of doing things. So yeah, painting.
I see. And do you have any like specific fine art that you're into? Some are into like pencil drawing,
No,
oil
I like
paint?
acrylic paint. Yeah, because in my final years of IGCSE, long way back, I use acrylic paint to do my final project.
Oh,
Yes.
can you tell us more about that? Like
I
the
like
inspiration?
acrylic paint. When you paint, it doesn't dry right away, and you can create textures from paint also. With the bump and everything. Yeah, I just like it. I also like sculptures. I used to do this project when I was younger. At GCSE, I did a sculpture of like distorted human.
Oh,
Yeah, something along that line.
oh, nice! Like distorted in.
In like very
Stretchy?
stretch and with like sometimes super skinny leg but big arms or like big tummy, it's just distorted.
Would you say it's abstract?
Abstract, correct.
How would you say it translate into your food creation?
I think it translates a lot because food is art, and I always strive for something that is very unique in a way that how it looks. We're not talking about flavors right now, but I want the food to look kind of like question mark a little bit, mysterious. So I think that's an abstract way of presenting food also.
If you were to describe Potong as maybe like a person or few words, how would you describe it?
Mysterious, maybe a mysterious woman, but once you enter, you learn about her more and more. You understand about why she becomes like that. Maybe.
I see.
Yeah. No one ever asked me this, but yeah.
Nice. So every time you're trying to create something related to Potong, what would be on your mind?
The food, you mean creative food?
Just
or,
the overall experience.
Unique, innovative, and memorable.
I see. And so if you were to pursue taking your IGCSE days and pursue a career, where would you picture yourself being?
If not a chef,
Mm.
I talked to my dad that I want to become like a painter, but we were discussing like a painter in Thailand may not be a good earning career unless you like on the top of the top. So maybe if I become a painter, maybe I'm not in Bangkok right now, but who knows.
So maybe in Paris with an
In
exhibition
Paris,
art.
yes,
I think it's not too late actually. If it's an interesting
No, it's
idea.
too late.
No, but like the pop art is
Oh, yeah.
the pop mart, the figure. It's like booming right now. If we
Oh,
could do
yeah.
something with Potong, like Potong collaboration, could be something that is like
Yeah,
thought-provoking.
but now I lose all the knowledge and all the technical stuff of fine arts. I used to tell my husband that once I retire in I don't know how many years after this, but I want to have a room that I can paint because you need a room. It's gonna get messy, and at the end of my later years, I want to paint.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Nice. You do mention few times about your husband and how you guys work together as a power couple to achieve your goals and both long-term goals and short-term goals. But before getting into that, can you please tell us about how you balance between work and life? Because you do have like
Yeah.
your family, your daughter to maintain as well.
Yeah. Many people ask like how. It's a very good question because I have a daughter and I'm a mother, and at the beginning I struggled really hard to balance between work and private life, family life. But then the best answer I can give is that you need to sacrifice. You cannot balance it. You have to choose. I think balance it is to choose, is to know when you're at work, you give 100%, and when you're at home, you're 100% also, to your daughter and to your husband. I asked myself whether I want to pursue this career in the beginning, right? I want to, give 100% to this career as a chef and at Potong. And I answered myself, yes. So I need to sacrifice my time being with my daughter. And it's an answer that I know and my husband know, and so we are ease at mind that okay, we don't feel bad to ourselves that we have less time for her because we already decided, but I hope that when she grows up, she realizes that what we're trying to do, and but I don't think she remembers right now. Maybe when she's 6, I would have to shift a little bit of the time and time for her and all that.
Just out of curiosity, for like people who want to be restaurateurs and pursue their culinary dreams, was having a family in your initial plan?
No, I was pregnant unplanned. We got married for the first year. We were planning to have a baby after maybe 3 years in marriage, but then Pisha came first year, which is wonderful. But then it wasn't planned because during that time it was COVID, and we were constructing the whole Potong building. We were so busy with all that. But then looking back, I think it's a very good thing, because if not back then, now we won't
have time.
We won't have time to
Yeah.
We always say we're not ready, but no one is ready until times come. You get ready when it comes. So just stay with the present and do your best, and you won't regret in the future.
So if you were to give advice to people who are looking to basically catch the fish with both hands and have babies as well as being a restaurateur, what would you say is the most crucial advice you could give?
Don't stress out. Just let it be in terms of emotional. Everyone has their own. There's no perfect recipes for managing time. So whatever fits best for you, do it. For me, I prefer like this. So it works for me and my husband. So my advice is to don't overstress. Have a peace in mind, and just keep what you believe in.
So you could achieve your dreams as well as not being stressed, because
For
everything
sure.
happens for a reason,
Yes.
you would say.
People are gonna get stressed for sure, but try not to.
As long as you're alive and living and thriving, that's all it matters.
Yes.
And for currently, how do you manage time?
So right now, Potong closes on Tuesday and Wednesday. So on those days, I try to keep it, free for my daughter, and the rest of the week, just business.
Being a follower of your platform, I see you do have other extracurricular, extra activity apart from running your business. How did you manage to maintain that?
Like golfing, you mean?
Golfing and also touring with other chefs in the area and all that.
Before, maybe a year ago, I focused on family and work. That's it. But this year, I feel like I don't focus. For the past, many years, I feel like I don't focus on myself, my health, and what I want to do. So this year, I really want to focus on that. But I think you have to give time for your health also. So I try to exercise more. So I start playing golf. I enjoy it a lot. It gives me, peace of mind, walking in a golf course, in early morning. I like to play golf in the morning, like 6 a.m. It's hard to get up, but then once you got up and, you walk in the of course you feel good about yourself. So that's what I'm trying to give more time to myself and to my body about giving lights to other chefs. I think it's important because for me, once you achieve something to a certain point, you want to give it back to someone else also. And I think it's very important because you grow your team, and if you don't have any space for them to grow, they're not going to believe in you anymore. And I think it's important to believe in them and to give them space for them to grow.
So 2024 is a year of self-love and self-improving.
Yes. Self-love is more.
So live, laugh, self-love,
Yes.
and giving back.
Yes.
That's all is
Yes.
matters. So some people may struggle with like finding the right time in their life in order to self-love. I mean, I do understand that we have to continuously love yourself. What would you say is the pointer for you in your case that everything ticks the box and it's all settled down and you're starting to focus more on that?
On self-love?
Yes.
I think the point that I started to think about being healthy, exercise more, is that it's always been in my bucket list, but I never started it. I feel like we spend so much on our body in terms of like we took so much out of our body. We sleep late, we drink, we travel a lot, we do this and all that, but we don't give anything back to our own body. And I'm also scared of my husband that his health is. I don't want him to die before me. So I have to do it first for him to do it also. So I think it's best to do together. I don't want him to, get diseases. I'm scared of cancer and all that. I can't even imagine, living without him. So I think being to start first will have him do it also. So we started together. And it works pretty well.
Oh, nice. So as you putting strain and stress on your body, remind yourself to just come back and love yourself and spending time on that.
Yes.
Nice. You do mention a little bit about your partner. Could you please tell us more maybe on like how you guys work together to achieve your...
Me and my partner, we work together. And we always together 24/7. People ask like, how can you do it? And you're not fighting, you're not bored of each other. Do you need like personal time? For me, no, because we're not just partners. We are friends. We are good friends, and I think having him doing what he does with me now pushes me to where I am today. He's a very talented behind the scene guy that no one knows about, but he's actually a very big, not even support, but he's a very big part of the success, I would say. And apart from him, there's many more that, is behind the scene, but helps a lot to where I am today. But he's a big one.
Just asking for myself, do you recommend working with someone in opening a business, let alone restaurant?
It depends, but for me, I like to work with people, not just trust, but I think family would be best. Because when money is involved, you tend to think a lot. But if you work with family, and when it comes to money, you don't think a lot because you feel like, oh, it's okay because you're my sister. I can give you money. I can give you that part. I can lose some and give you some because you're my sister. So it's best to work with, close families. Because at the end of the day, problem comes when there's money, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're losing money or making money, there are problems. But if you work with people that you don't think about money, I don't want to take your money and you can take my money, there's no fight. So for me, I think it's best to work with families.
With your new upcoming brand, Toraishi.
Yes.
Right. Can you tell us relating to that how you approach into into introducing new brands?
So our new project is izakaya called Toraishi. 99% confirmed the name, right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, it will be in Salaya, which is out of town. We want to create something that doesn't have in this area and very approachable to everyone, fun, and something delicious, easy to eat, and come and enjoy. So something that I'm really looking forward to open it.
Relating back to before about talking that you open smoked, from that, do you take any inspiration, not in the term of concept, but in the term of operating the business into implementing with the new brand?
I think it has to have a very strong identity. Smoke also have a very strong identity. So at Toraishi, I think we're gonna create a really strong concept identity, because I think branding, you have to feel certain things about the brand without coming to experience it yet. So I think branding is something that is very important, and I think at Toraishi we want to create something that's fun, something different, but focus on food, delicious food.
That goes well with the current trend right now. In the business, before that was 4Ps, but now they changed to 4E.
What's 4E?
There's like experience, and one of it is experience, which links perfectly to you saying that you want to create the funness.
Yes.
But we could talk behind the scenes with the 4Es.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an emerging trend. So I was curious about how do you plan to, with the market being so dense, brand popping up every day, new generation wanna have something of their own. How do you plan to create? Like, how do you plan to stand out?
I'll plan to do something, maybe not everything that is different, maybe one or two things that is different. Because I think that to stand out, you need a signature of whether it's a server outfit or it's the food, it's the experience. You need something that is your highlight. And so that's our plan. But I think along the way in every business, you have to be flexible. If you try this, doesn't work, you have to be able to adjust and follow the next step.
Nice. I think we pretty much cover all your existing and emerging brands. And coming to an end, Chef, I want to ask you, do you believe that there are end to being a chef?
No, I think after being a chef professionally, after that you can cook at home, you can teach, you can become a speaker about, but not like if cooking physically, maybe yes, because when you get old, you cannot, do that anymore. But in terms of being in this industry, I don't think there's an end unless you're dead. But I think there's so many multiple things that you can do, getting older doing. Yeah.
What would you say would be your ultimate goal?
Painting, spending time with families, cook for the family. Right now, I don't have time to cook for my partner or my daughter barely. So I want to go back where I started, cooking at home. Yeah.
And how about the direction for Potong right now, that your long-term goals?
A long-term goal is to keep the business going, grow the team, become, the spot where people want to come to if they're in Thailand.
But right now, Potong is super hard to book already.
We just keep it going.
Nice. I think that concludes it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hopefully one day looking forward to seeing your painting.
Yes.
Maybe not towards after you're not a chef, maybe along the way.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
ขอบคุณค่ะ